Hey y'all, welcome to a video all about the best places to live in downtown Columbia from someone who actually lives in downtown Columbia. Now this video is for all ages at all stages of life, but I'll point out the areas that are mostly college students, their apartments, and even dorms so everyone is aware of exactly where you're considering living and what lifestyle to expect. From being the capital of South Carolina, Columbia is actually way smaller than you would think, and most of the homes are historic. This video highlights the following neighborhoods in Columbia: Elmwood, Earlwood, Cottontown, Shandon, Wells Garden, Melrose Heights, Rosewood, and the entire Forest Acres area. If you're new to our channel, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Patrick.
And we both grew up here in the Columbia area and lead the top real estate team for Coldwell Banker. We love Columbia and we know you will too.
Let's get started. Columbia was just recently ranked second most popular city for Gen Z buyers and one of the top 10 cities for overall growth in 2023. The area is home to young professionals, business owners, college students, and families that enjoy the slower paced downtown lifestyle. Columbia is also one of the most affordable cities in the country, which really explains the amount of growth that we've seen here since 2020. To be the capital of South Carolina, Columbia is pretty small, and to me it's the perfect place if you're looking for a mix between city living and small town feel. Besides being extremely affordable compared to other areas, Columbia is also so close to every major city in South Carolina since we're in the middle of the state. I love how easily I can get to Greenville, Charlotte, and Charleston. For example, Charleston is just about an hour and a half away from Columbia, which makes it a perfect place for a day trip or a great lunch spot.
Depending on the type of neighborhood feel that you're looking for, here are a couple of my recommendations. So here's a map of Columbia, and here's the downtown Main Street area, which is where the State House is located, as well as a ton of shops, restaurants, and local businesses. Everything in this area is commercial space and hotels, but there is one student housing apartment on Main Street. The Vista is also very similar to the Main Street downtown area, which is where most of the bars and restaurants are in Columbia. There are also a couple apartments and townhomes, but most of them are hotels, and I live about 5 minutes from Main Street, which is the Elmwood, Earlwood, and Cottontown area. This is probably one of my favorite neighborhoods in downtown Columbia, but I'm biased because I obviously live here. The neighborhood is historic, and most of the homes are on the historic registry. They call this neighborhood Columbia's Front Porch because this area is known for our porch parties, neighborhood gatherings, and our extreme holiday decorations. This is a huge section of Columbia, and the price point is all over the place depending on the street, the size, and the type of home. We're also super close to the Bull Street District, which is where the Columbia minor league baseball team plays, and soon to be home to the largest brewery in the state of South Carolina.
Also in the center of Columbia is the University of South Carolina, and the school spreads throughout the entire downtown area. Now, if you're a professor and want to be on campus, the best neighborhoods are Wheeler Hill or University Park. These are typically older homes that have been renovated, but you will see a good majority of the homes in this area being rented to college students. This is also a great area if you're an investor and want to purchase a house for rental purposes. Now, if you're a student and want to live off campus in a home, Rosewood is the perfect place to be. It's a super affordable area and a mix between college rentals, first-time home buyers, and lifelong residents who have been in the area for 20 plus years. Migrating towards the campus, here is where the other side of Columbia lives, in neighborhoods like Melrose Heights, Shandon, Wells Garden, and literally all of Forest Acres. So on the map, you know just where we are. This is 5 Points, also known as the place to be if you're a college student on a weekend night. 5 Points also has restaurants, clothing boutiques, a bookstore, and more. But a little bit further up the road onto Divine Street, you will find a few of my favorite restaurants in Columbia, including Backstreets, Cantina 76, Zah's Pizzeria. Shandon is located right off Divine Street and walking distance to all the restaurants and shop along the street. This area is known as the Divine District. You can often find some of the students riding golf carts around the area. Shandon is one of Columbia's most sought after neighborhoods because of its local charm, walking distance to local restaurants, and the location to the rest of Columbia. While there are a few duplexes and rental properties in Shandon, most of the homes start in the low 400s.
Wells Garden is right off of 5 Points, and it's a mix of college students that live in the apartment-style duplexes and smaller rental homes, as well as young professionals in Columbia's finest homes as you go further back into the neighborhood. Wheeler Hill neighborhood borders Wells Gardens, and most of the homes are walking distance to 5 Points, the neighborhood park, Maxie Gregg, and the University of South Carolina. One of my favorite restaurants in this area is DePrado's, which has some of the best pimento cheese in Columbia and is a perfect brunch spot on the weekends. A very similar styled neighborhood is the Melrose Heights area, which is right off of Millwood Avenue. This area has a mix of smaller rental properties as well as established, beautifully renovated historic homes. Similar to Shandon and Wells Garden, most of the neighborhood is within walking distance to popular restaurants and coffee houses. One of my favorite places for lunch is Crave Artisan Market, which has amazing paninis, soups, and salads. Melrose Heights is a great location in Columbia and also so close to the Divine District with the shopping and restaurants.
Now, a little further from the USC campus and Five Points area is all of Forest Acres. There's a ton of sub-neighborhoods throughout, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to look at Forest Acres as a whole. Most homes in Forest Acres are older homes built in the mid-1900s, and the price ranges from the low 200s all the way up to over $1 million for the older, completely renovated waterfront estates. As far as the area, the restaurants and shopping is spread out throughout Forest Acres, but all within a 15-minute drive. Trenton Plaza has both shopping, grocery stores, and restaurants. Some of the name brand storefronts include Publix, Lululemon, Home Goods, Sephora, Anthropologie, Kendra Scott, and restaurants including Taza, Chipotle, Chicken Salad Chick, Starbucks, and more. Right down the road, we have my personal favorite, Trader Joe's. If you head towards Fort Jackson, one of the military bases we have here in Columbia, you'll find a Target, Ulta, Whole Foods, Marshalls, and more.
Now, this is not an overview of every neighborhood in Columbia, but I hope this gives you a good idea of the general area and the type of neighborhood you can expect if you're relocating here. If you have any questions about the relocation process, more questions about living in downtown Columbia, or you want a copy of our guide to Columbia with our restaurants, places to shop, please feel free to drop a comment below and send us an email. We are happy to help.